In this demo, we're going to consume and display a list of data. We're going to do this by first creating sample data, by creating an object in our models folder that's going to be used, and then we'll see how we're going to display that list of data by setting up our controller and appropriate view. Back in Visual Studio, to use sample data for this demo, I'm going to the models folder. I'm going to add a class. I'm going to name it TechItem. Click Add, change the class to be public, and the contents of that class will first of all include a property. The property is going to be of type string and named name. Next, I'm going to add a method called getItems. It's going to return an IEnumerable instance of the TechItem class itself. So that looks like this: public static IEnumerable of this type TechItem. GetItems. Within this method, I could do a number of things. I could call an API, I can call some data file or a database, but for the sake of this demo, I'm simply going to create a static list to have returned. But note that you could do a number of things here in order to get that data. Return a new list of TechItem. I'm going to create a new instance of each one, initializing that name property with the value. Now that the method is complete, I'm going to compile Control-Shift-B. I want to now use these items in our home controller. I'm going to do this by creating a new action. It'll look like this in the URL. I want the name of that action to be list. I'll copy the contents of the one above, paste it here, change the name to list. I want to return the data to be used in the view, but first I need to make sure that I've acknowledged the namespace of our TechItem by adding a using statement at the top, demo MVC dot models. Going back down to the list action, I can then say in our return for the view that we'll pass into this TechItem dot getItems, which will pass in that data into the view to be used. Currently, this action does not have a corresponding view. To make one, I could right-click within the code file and choose Add View. I'll keep the view name as List. I'm going to use a template that would be, you guessed it, List. And the model class that's going to be used is our TechItem that we just created. Since there's no additional information required, such as a data context class, I don't need to create a partial view. I'll go ahead and leave everything else at its default and click Add. This generates the view that corresponds to the action I created in my home controller. Let's see what this looks like when we view it in the browser. You'll note at the top that Home is the controller, List is our action, and our list view has displayed that data that came from our custom model class, ASP, ASP.NET, and ASP.NET Core.